Hello, hello, hello. Let's do a movie review. Let's do another one because I know they're really popular and that you'll love watching me talking about movies. Well, again, it's Mads Mikkelsen. We're back to Mads again. This is a Danish film called Riders of Justice. It was released originally in 2020 in its native country, but over here I think it's yet to be formally released in the UK. However, thanks to Apple and iTunes and stuff, I've managed to rent it and watch it. And what is it exactly? It's a black comedy. It's one of those Revengers dramas. I don't want to spoil it because I think it is essential that you come to it blind and not know anything. Well, I'm going to talk in again very broad strokes, but I'm not going to give away too many plot points because there is a really good switcheroo that happens that makes you reconsider the entire story. However, I again without spoiling it, I do believe the opening scene is related to. You can't come in. Go away. That's good. You see, because kids, rotten kids. I got out of the cupboard that I locked them in. Um, yeah, in the opening scene, something happens, and I like to think that the antagonists are responsible. So, ergo, the whole story kind of plays out okay in the end. It kind of negates the twist. Um, yeah, I'm being very vague. So anyway, Mads Mikkelsen plays he's in the military. He's a military fella, but he's called back when there is a catastrophe. There is an accident on a train, leaving him a widower, and he has to look after his teenage daughter, and that is the opening scene of the story. However, he's approached by a fellow who's also on the train who believes that there's something else afoot, and this puts him on the path of destruction against the Riders of Justice, which is a name of a criminal bike. I don't know if are they a biker gang? They're a criminal gang. They don't see there aren't any motorcycles in this, but they're criminals and they're involved in people smuggling and prostitution and robbery and drugs and whatnot and guns. And these are not very good people. And so you have a misfit gang up against hardened criminals, and that's where the black comedy comes in. Though I think it's a bit deeper than that. It talks about the nature of revenge. It is, how revenge can twist you up and how things aren't always as you perceive them, which is interesting. Um, so yeah, and so Mads, he's adopting a very different character. This time he's the action hero, and there's lots of shooting, there's lots of bloodshed, and and we follow him as he wreaks bloody revenge on the Riders of Justice, and that is it really. On one level, on another level, it is a black comedy. On another level, um, it says a lot about again masculinity. Uh, it's one of those films. How you deal with grief. Um, there's a very powerful scene where involving Mads, where the grief he's overcome by the grief of the loss of his wife, and that's an incredibly powerful scene. Um, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a good movie. It's 116 minutes. Thought it could have been tightened up a bit, tightened up slightly, just just a little bit, just a little bit. Also, and I think one of the big issues I have, I've been thinking about this since I watched it because I watched it last weekend, and I was thinking about well, comedy and subtitled films, and I think with this, the way the subtitles fell didn't always hit the beat, because humour, there's a certain beat to it, there's a certain rhythm to it, and because you're reading the subtitles, and sometimes the subtitles are a little bit long, and you're reading them, and sometimes the jokes or the subtitles jokes, the punchlines don't land where they should land in the film because your brain's reading, and so there's like a delayed laugh, because you're processing it, and that got me thinking about subtle films, because again the comedy is well, it can be subtle, but it can also be quite extreme as well, and yeah, that I've been thinking about that because I've watched other comedies like French comedies and whatnot, and it's never been an issue. But with this, it was like, am I laughing in the right spot? Because I always felt like I was just, like the slow person who laughs at the joke slightly after the punchline. I felt like that. But yeah, it's an interesting take on a revenger's tale. Um, it's great cast, great cast. One of the young fellows in it, who plays the boyfriend of the daughter, was in Another Round, which cause I thought I know him. I'm beginning to know all the Danish actors and whatnot. And yeah, it's a very, it's a quirky film, but you get to see Mads, a different aspect of him, doing this action here. He's got a big beard, and his supporting cast are great. They're like I say, a raggle-taggle bunch of, I wouldn't call them heroes, anti-heroes. I don't know. They deliver. They get there in the end, and that's what makes it an interesting movie. And it is violent. There's a lot of violence in it, and there's a lot of shooting. So it's if you want an action-packed treat and you're okay with the subtitles, certainly give it a go. And I can imagine this being remade. This one, I can imagine this one being remade. Another Round, but this one I reckon they could probably remake it. And it's funny because it falls with there's a film with Bob Odenkirk. No, is it called Nobody? Where he's an unlikely hero. This is like dads, it's the dads getting their revenge, being servicemen and whatnot, going out. And I haven't seen Nobody yet. I might watch that one when it comes out. At the moment, it's quite expensive to rent. It's something like £15 to rent. I don't know. It's a bit spicy for me. But when it's cheaper, I'm gonna watch that one. And they might make. I imagine they make a good double bill. So I'm gonna call that early before I've actually seen it. But yeah, it's really interesting, and there's a lot of surprises in it. You don't know where it's going. It's one of those films where you though the last third of it, there are bits that you go, I can see where this is going now. And it's all down to social media, because social media is evil. Remember, folks, no more social media. Anyway, I thought it was a really good film. Give it a go when it comes your way. It's not been released in the UK at the moment, but I watched it on US iTunes. Don't ask the hoops I had to jump through to pay. I paid to watch it. I don't know why they just don't open up these things to everyone and make it a global rental, and it'd be a lot easier for us movie fans. But anyway, thanks for watching. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been talking about Riders of Justice, a Danish movie. Shall I try and say it? Retverdigens Viteri. There you go. That's my best Dutch. All the Dutch are now thumbsing down the video. But yeah, do give Riders of Justice a watch, because it got Mads in it. And I've got such a man crush on Mads Mikkelsen. He's such an enigmatic actor. He's just a solid actor. He's like a proper movie star. Anyway, I've burbled on and off. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing I have to say. By now, you know what that is. And that is ta-da.